Hi there, welcome back to the video series about OpenFOAM. Today we want to talk about continuing with the exploration and copying and running of the tutorials file. Now, why are we running tutorials file? We are running tutorials file because well, we don't want to learn coding from scratch. That is the very difficult way to learn. So instead, we always want to take a look back at the worked examples that are there for us, and that is in the tutorial folder. And inside the tutorial folder, we can see all the various capabilities of OpenFOAM, and we see what it can do and how, let's say, heat transfer problems are, heat transfer, compressible flow, incompressible flow, even chemical reaction problems are done. So all these are in the tutorials folder. Now if you forget how to navigate there, let's show you again. I'm going to just type cd on the screen here to bring you back to the main folder. So again, I'm going to type cd/opt. Then I'm going to list the folders there. I'm going to type cd OpenFOAM. So let's go. Okay, we're going to cd into that folder as well. And we're going to cd the tutorials folder. Okay, so remember that's how we got here. The other way, of course, is to cd foam tutorials. And that is the faster way of doing it. And remember, they must all be caps. This is case sensitive. So in case you forget, you can watch this again. I'll keep reminding us of where to find it. So inside the tutorial folder, we can see all these files that I was talking about earlier. And now that we know how to navigate to the tutorials folder, we kind of want to start to run each of these tutorials just to get a flavor of what OpenFOAM is like and what it can do. The first thing we want to start with is the incompressible one. So I'm going to change directory to the incompressible folder, and I want to go to icofoam as described in the last video. This is where your cavity file is. So cavity file is here, and that's where you want to go. And if we want to find out where we are, we type pwd to print which directory we are in, and there we are. Okay, so before we start running the file, we want to think about things, right? Normally, what we want to do is, okay, we have a file to run, and we kind of want to learn OpenFOAM by modifying the example or tutorial files. But we don't want to modify the example files or tutorial files that are already present in the OpenFOAM installation. Otherwise, we'll be ruining a perfectly good example of how to do things. So if we want to have a copy of a file, a copy of the file we want to play with, we can use the copy function. So this tutorial is just demonstrating how we can copy the tutorial folders over, and perhaps we can start running one of the tutorials, the example files. And we also want to visualize it using ParaView. Okay, so we have the directory that is already here. Okay, so we know we want to copy the cavity file. Now, the cavity file is just there. We are in the cavity folder, just as a reminder. So let's say we want to copy it into some directory. Okay, so this is my desktop directory. You'll see a number of things there. I've been doing some other projects. But let's say we want to have a folder where we can store our experimental files. Okay, so I like to do it this way. So usually I've been playing with OpenFOAM for a while. I've been playing with OpenFOAM for a while, or rather not playing, experimenting with it. And where I normally store my files is in this folder here called OpenFOAM_files. This is the one I'm highlighting now. It should appear slightly pinkish, or well, it just changed color. If you're not sure of the color, if that it's just the one that I'm highlighting now, so don't worry about the color. So this is where I store my OpenFOAM files. Okay, so let's say I want to start from scratch. So what can we do? First thing first, we can remove the OpenFOAM files folder. So I'm just going to remove the open files folder using the rm command. So rm is just means remove. So I'm going to try OpenFOAM files. Okay. OpenFOAM files. Okay, I'm going to press enter. And then it gives us an error. And what does this error mean? It means that the command rm, it normally removes individual files and folders only. No, individual files only. So for example, if I have a text folder, a text file, and I want to delete it, I can use rm and then type the name of that text file. But the thing is, this what we are trying to delete is an entire folder. So what can we do to remove it? So we'll just type rm-r, where the -r here, what it stands for is that it will remove all the subfolders and the files in those folders. Okay, and that will delete the whole folder itself plus any folders that are inside. So okay, rm-r OpenFOAM_files. Press enter, and you can see that it is deleted. So let's say I want to make a new folder. I'm going to use the command make directory, mkdir, and let's say I want to make that same folder again. So I'm going to make a directory called OpenFOAM files. There we have it, and I'm going to navigate to that folder. So there's nothing in the folder now, as you can see, after typing the list command. So there's nothing there. So I'm just going to repeat it again, make directory, and I can scroll up and down by pressing the arrow keys. Okay, I can scroll up and down through commands using the arrow keys. I'm going to press enter here. Okay. Okay, so if I type make directory OpenFOAM files, I can't do it because the folder already exists. So okay, I'm going to just remove it. So just to remind you again, remove -r OpenFOAM files, and bingo, it's deleted. So to make the directory, we can use mkdir OpenFOAM files. So what are we doing here? We are learning how to remove and make new directories and subfolders. And now we also want to what do you call that? We want to make a new directory so that we can dump our tutorials inside that directory. Okay. So now, what is the next step? Okay, we want to copy our files there. So I'm going to cd OpenFOAM files. Okay, and you know there's nothing here. Okay, so how do we copy? The command is called cp. cp is for copy. So how this command works is that you must specify the source destination. It means which folder are you trying to copy, or where are you trying to copy your files from, and then you have to specify which folder you want to copy it to. Okay, so let's go. Let's type cp. I'm executing from the main like a desktop screen or whatever, the main folder. So cd ... goes up, or you can press cd and just enter. It will bring you to this folder. Okay, so I want to copy the files from the cavity file to this OpenFOAM files folder. So how do I do that? Well, remember we need to use the cp command. We need to specify the source where we are copying it from. So just now we have used the pwd command, very useful. So that tells us where the cavity folder is. I'm going to type Ctrl C to copy, and I'm going to right click to paste. And where do we want our file to be copied to? We want it to be copied to the OpenFOAM files. Okay, so let's see where that thing is. OpenFOAM files, and I'm going to type pwd. So you see, it will be in /home /on open files. That's me. Okay, so I'm going to navigate back. I'm going to type cp, right click paste. So that's where we are copying things from. And then we want to copy this directory so that we can copy our cavity files there. So I'm going to right click. I'm going to type enter. And then, oh, what's the problem here? It says CPR is not specified. Omitting directory, blah, 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 blah. So what is going on here? Now the thing with Linux or Bash in this case, well, you have to specify the -r. Okay, we have to specify the -r so that we are copying the folder, not just one file. If you only type cp, it only copies one file at a time. So that is kind of not very useful. Okay. So if we forget any of these, we can go back to the installation the guide, and we look at the first three things. This is actually, they're making directories, making a directory where you want to place your tutorial folder. I just prefer it to place it in that my own so-called Linux desktop or the main folder. So cd, this is navigating to that tutorial folder, and then here's the copy command, and they use AR, and you see foam tutorials incompressible, I go foam. Okay, so it's really similar to what we are using. So AR is the command used here. And what is AR stand for? What does AR stand for? Well, there's always this thing called help or info. So if you're not sure what the command does, we can type help cp, or sometimes if you forget, we can also use info. See, it says info cp here. So these are very easy commands to remember. Help and info. Okay, so what does the AR command do? Okay, so let's see. By default, cp does not copy directories. However, the -R, -A, and -R options cause cp to copy recursively by descending into source directories and copying copying files into the corresponding destination directories. So if you want to copy the entire folder, it's best to just use the AR command as what was described in the OpenFOAM website. You can see the AR modifier that will help us to copy the entire folder. And you see, it's a bit different. Why do they use a dot? I'll explain that very shortly. So I'm going to quit by pressing Q. Q will just quit the help what do you call that? The help file. Okay, so let's take a look. Okay, now let's try the AR version. So cp AR. I'm going to copy this bit, paste, and then that's where we are copying the things from. I'm going to copy this bit. I'm going to copy by pressing Ctrl C and right click. Now let's press enter. So apparently nothing seems to be going wrong. So let's navigate to the OpenFOAM files. So that's where we have copied our what do you call that? Yeah, tutorial into. So let's take a look. What's inside there? Ah, we see our cavity folder. Let's navigate inside the cavity folder. Oh, sorry, that wasn't navigate. There's just listing files in the cavity folder. So if you type ls cavity / they will list the files in the cavity folder. So let's change directory there. You see, we have all our cavity files there already. Okay, so now what is the OpenFOAM file doing? Why are they using full stops or dots here? Well, dot just represents that you want to copy the file from this directory into the present directory. Okay, so let's try that. So these are the new commands that we are learning. Alright, so we want to remove this cavity file. Okay, so we are in the root folder, and if we cd the OpenFOAM files, we see nothing here. Now let's try that command as well. The cpar, all of this, and then we press dot. Let's go. And you see the cavity file is there. Now in the OpenFOAM directory, it shows that it's a cpar incompressible icofoam cavity dot. Okay, so why are they doing that? So let's navigate to that folder. Cd okay, let's navigate to that folder. You see that there are a few files and folders here. There's only one that you need. You're in the cavity dot. You see cavity and then cavity. These are the files that you actually need to copy. So we don't actually need to copy so many files. Okay, cd OpenFOAM files. Okay, cd cavity, and you see inside there's another cavity folder. Okay, so no need to worry. Well, we can use a easier way since there's a cavity file there already. Let's go do this. Let's cd the cavity and then ls. Okay, this is where we want to be, and we just type the command pwd, and that will tell us what files we are having. So okay, I'm going to copy this directory because this is the directory which I want to copy. So cd and cd OpenFOAM files. Oopsie, let's try that again. Okay, so I want to copy that folder here into the dot. Let's see, and let's go inside the cavity folder. And what do you see? Oh, we have what we have is this. Okay, so we have the files that we have initially, all clean, all run, cavity, blah blah blah, and then we have 0, constant, and system, which were in the cavity folder. So that's what copying does. All right, so this is just showing you how to copy the folders properly. So let's go up one step. cd OpenFOAM files. Okay, so let's just do a clean copy. So remove -r cavity. Okay, press enter. I'm going to remove all that junk, and then we're going to copy it fresh. Okay, so we're going to cpar, and where was the original file? The original file was in this area. This was the directory. I'm going to type cavity again, since that is the file we want. So that's cavity. Alright, that's here, what I'm highlighting. So I'm just going to put dot. That is going to copy the cavity file into our folder. Okay, so this is just well, it's more of a Linux tutorial rather than a OpenFOAM tutorial, but yeah, so this is a crash course on how to copy the OpenFOAM files into the directory you want to. So we've just learned copy pasting of the tutorial folder. So now that we have the cavity file inside our tutorial folder, we can start playing around with it and actually start running the tutorial. So thank you for your patience, especially for watching for 20 minutes already. So hope you learned something useful for this video that is for beginners to OpenFOAM and Linux, or Windows subsystem for Linux. Okay, I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.